Season 39, war number 10, and we're up against LVT. And this time my team will be Tigra, Professor X, and Omega Sentinel. I will be taking path 1 in section 1 as well as that Ebony Maw on node 20. And then I'm taking America Chavez on that root node. Path 5 in section 2 as well as that Galan on the shared fight. As for the boss island, I'm gonna be taking that Hyperion and Apocalypse mini-bosses, and then the spot boss with Professor X. Get a bunch of fights that I haven't taken before, so at least it's gonna be something new. Up first we have a thing on the personal space regeneration node, and I'm taking this fight with Tigra. The game plan is pretty simple, it's just a normal thing fight. Neutralize is gonna keep the regenerations in check, and even if some of them do slip through, I am running max despair, so the rupture debuffs will shut down the healing. So all I need to do against the thing with Tigra is to just make sure that I don't leave him at 15 rock stacks at the end of my combo heavier special attack. If I leave him at 15 stacks and neutralize falls off, my next attack that hits him directly will trigger his unstoppable before neutralize can prevent it. So as long as you manage the rock stacks fine, you will never go unstoppable, and then there's really nothing to worry about. Tigra doesn't hit hard enough with her specials or basic attacks to trigger the protection, and the burst damage just melts him, so it is a pretty fast fight as well. And then we have a Sasquatch on the Masochism Overtime node, and I'm taking this fight with Professor X. The game plan here is to get to my special 3 with 100 channeling charges, and then spam special 3s until he drops with the help of mutant power boosts. Now, since my Professor X is not ramped up here, I was a little bit worried about not being able to spam the special 3s over and over again, but even if I do fall short, spamming some special 2s in there is doing nothing but speeding up the fight. The special 2 does more damage faster than the special 3, so if I do fall short, it's fine. Of course I would prefer spamming special 3s because then the opponent is not able to do anything at all, and you basically can't screw it up once you get there, so that is the safer option. But as we're gonna see here, I had nothing to worry about with the power gain. It's only section 1, so the health pool on these guys are not as high as they could be. So with that early wrath and no damage reduction, I'm doing plenty of damage. Enough at least to get to my special 3s over and over again. Sasquatch goes down without any issues, and thanks to that synergy with Omega Sentinel, I get 2 persistent charges from this, which is gonna help out on later fights. Next up we have an Ebony Maw on Masochism Overtime and Strike Counter Fury nodes, and I'm taking the fight with Professor X. Now the game plan here was the same old special 3 spam, at least the plan was that when I went in, but I had to change the plan midway through. Now something that I didn't really think about before going in was his degeneration and how it would get ramped up with the Furies from Strike Counter Fury. And so when I realized it, I just decided to get it out of the way early, triggered my dexterity there and made it a special 1, because I really don't wanna test if the degen scales with the Furies. So now we're stacking those up, I'm gonna be rushing into my special 3. I get a little bit scared about MD here with the Furies he's gonna give me, so instead of going for special 3s, I figured I'm gonna start spamming special 2s instead. And I would say it was the right call. I fell a little bit short there of my second special 2, but a quick heavy with the help of the Falter, and I got up there. Ebony Maw went down without any real issues, but but getting the degen on me early on there did cost me a potion. But I do believe it was the right call. It was the safer play at least. And then we have an America Chavez on the Scared Stiff node, and I'm taking this fight with Tigra. The game plan is to bait either special 1s or special 2s, it doesn't matter, and then punishing them with my heavy attack, dropping big special 2s to nuke her down. The biggest risk in this fight is if she starts spamming those heavy attacks for no reason, like she does here, because the negative zone can reverse my power gain. If she gets 2 stacks of those, she's gonna be reversing the power gain I get from the Huntress Sense, and then I'm not gonna be able to use any special attacks until they fall off. Luckily she didn't get there, and the fight is already over before I can even start explaining what I'm doing. So yeah, that's all there is to that one. Then we have a bishop on the ebb and flow intercept node, and I'm taking this fight with Omega Sentinel. And the game plan here, like usual against bishops, is to only use basic attacks to take him down. The special one doesn't really do anything too useful, since I won't be using any of the debuffs. And the special 2 inflicts plasma, which is energy damage, and that's just not something you wanna do against bishop in general. So instead, I'm only gonna be using basic attacks, finishing with light combos if I'm finishing a full combo, because the second medium is an energy based attack and will give bishop some prowess. So just to avoid that, I will only ever end my combos with light attacks, and then I'm gonna be baiting special 2s because that is easier to deal with. The special one gives him that passive steady release, I believe it's called, that inflicts incinerate debuffs on me if I'm close to him. And since Omega Sentinel is not immune to incinerate, that is something that would be a little bit worrying if he got it, but as long as I keep baiting special 2s, the fight is fine, there really isn't any issues here. Now the biggest problem would be if I get clipped and trigger my auto block, because that inflicts a plasma debuff on the opponent, which again is energy damage, so I would rather avoid that. Now if you're taking this fight, you can also just block the special 2s without any prowess, it's not gonna be unblockable, and with all those armor ups Omega Sentinel has, she won't be taking that much damage at all. Next up we have a Joe Fixit on the Ebb and Flow Intercept and Mighty Charge nodes, and I'm taking the fight with Professor X. And the game plan here is the good old special 3 spam with mutant power boosts. I'm gonna be spamming some heavy attacks to ramp up my channeling charges faster, and once I'm at 100, all I need to do is get to a special 3, intercept to remove the protection, and then spam the special 3s until the opponent goes down. Now, that is all very simple and very easy to do, really nothing else to explain here, but one thing that I do like to note about Professor X on these Ebb and Flow intercept nodes is the fact that you can use his falter to land the intercept very safely and very easily. As long as you have the falter active and it's not on cooldown, you simply just make the opponent dash at you and then let him try to hit you, like I do here. As soon as the hit would connect, it's gonna miss because of the falter, and then you can just tap him with a light or a medium, and it will count as an intercept to remove the node. Though before doing it, do make sure that the opponent cannot bypass your miss. Because if they can, well, you're just gonna get comboed. Next up we have a Galan on the Ebb and Flow Intercept and Mighty Charge nodes, and I'm taking this fight with Tigra. And this is a pretty simple Tigra fight, like most Cosmics are. As long as I keep the neutralize up whenever Galan is about to use a special attack, he will not gain any buffs, and so he will not gain any planetary mass either. And without any mass, he's not gonna trigger the harvest, and without the harvest, he doesn't really do anything as a defender. Now I'm gonna be baiting his special 1s instead of the special 2s, because for whatever reason, the special 2s still inflict the incinerate debuffs on you, even if they don't connect. So even if I were to duck the special 2, I will still get incinerated for some reason, and yeah, just to avoid that, I'm gonna be baiting special 1s instead. Now this Galan here doesn't want to throw his specials, and I end up baiting this special 1 without the neutralize up, so he got those fury buffs. The reason why I didn't really go for the proper spacing was because I thought he would trigger his true sense here as well and bypass my miss. And as soon as I saw that he didn't get the true sense, I went for the heavy, which I shouldn't have because I wasn't even close to him, but luckily I didn't get punished for it. Next up we have a Hyperion on the power efficiency miniboss node, and I'm taking the fight with Tigra. And this should be a very fast and very easy Tigra fight, max 40 seconds I guess, if everything goes well. Here, everything does not go well. I used an invulnerability boost just in case he would get to a special 3, but when I go for a heavy punish on this special 1 here at the start, I was too slow and I ate the special. That consumed my invulnerability, I got an incinerate on me, now I'm faltered and he's gonna be spamming specials and everything goes wrong. Now at the very least he is using his specials, for now at least, so I didn't have to eat a special 3 here. Now I'm not so lucky, he decides to not throw the specials, I dropped my senses, now he's gaining power, and everything is just going horribly wrong. Without senses I don't have the power gain or damage, so I'm basically doing nothing. Now he's at a special 3, I don't have the invulnerability, and I'm gonna be eating this. Now luckily, this Tigra is a rank 5, so she has a decent health pool, and I also run max inequity, so with those rupture debuffs, I was lowering his damage quite a lot. Still, my heart sank when he got to that special 3, because I did not want to die with a rank 5 Tigra this soon in Alliance War. Luckily it didn't happen this time, and I hope it doesn't happen ever, but you know, never say never, anything can happen. A fight as easy as this one, if I can mess this up, I can mess something else up later down the line. I did manage to get out of this fight without any more issues, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to do some more warm-up matches in practice fights or something before taking Tigra fights like this, especially ones that I haven't taken that often. And then we have an Apocalypse on the Aspect of Evolution miniboss node, and I'm taking the fight with Tigra. Now, Apocalypse is one of the defenders that I have had the most practice against, since around the time I started using her, Apocalypse was one of the more common Alliance War bosses. So I've spent hours fighting this guy to get the spacing down for everything, and I'm very comfortable fighting him. Now the problem with Apocalypse, especially with Tigra, is the fact that his special animations take so long that you're gonna be losing time on your senses every time he drops them. So with the senses this low already, I end up dropping them during the special 2, and that just makes the fight take a lot longer than it should. I re-trigger the primal sense here for damage, but I still will not have my power gain, which just means that the best way for me to continue this fight is to bait heavy attacks and punish them with my heavy. I will not be caring about any block damage too much because this is the last Tigra fight I have, so losing some HP here doesn't matter at all, as long as I don't actually die from it. Now I could have gone for another special one to re-trigger the Huntress sense for more power gain, but I decided to go straight for a special 2 instead, and then finish him off with that. It worked out great, although I guess I probably should have used an advanced power booster to start with the bar of power, to make sure that I wouldn't have to stay in the fight any longer than I needed to. Next up is the final fight of this war, a spot boss that I'm gonna be taking with Professor X, and the game plan is the good old special 3 spam with mutant power boosts. I was pretty worried about this fight because, well, I haven't really had any practice against him. No one has him, so I've only fought him like once or twice in Alliance Wars total. So to limit any mistakes and the amount of time I have to stay in this fight, I used an advanced power boost to start with the bar of power. That is extremely helpful for Professor X, considering as soon as you get the special 3, you win, so cutting down a third of that time is very helpful. Now I am getting Ruptures here because he used a special 1, giving him debuff immunity, and then the boss node is trying to give him resistance buffs. So whenever that happens, he will inflict a Rupture debuff on you, so do keep that in mind. But now that I got to my special 3, the fight should be over. I should be able to just spam these until he drops, but I fall a little bit short. I drop a special 2 here, that gets me back up to a special 3, and now I will be getting enough power to simply just keep spamming special 3s until he drops. No way I could mess this up at all at this point, right? Well, I would have thought so, but no. For whatever reason, instead of charging a heavy here, I held block. I'm not sure what I was trying to do or if it was a dropped input, but I did get clipped there. Luckily he didn't go for a full combo or do anything scary like that, and I did get the last special 3 off before the mind control fell off. Not the cleanest fight, but it worked. As for the results, we did end up losing 3-7. LVT went all out on us.